it's me, X Canadensis, and for today's video, we are going to be doing a collection tour of all of my limited edition Disney dolls. I include any that are released by the Disney Store in this like category of my doll collection, so I've got the 12-inch designer dolls, and I don't collect the Fairy Tale designer series, so as you can see, I don't have any, but if I had any, they would be here. And then the 17-inch dolls as well. These both retail at the same price point and basically always have, and they're limited releases from the Disney Store. I consider them kind of the same vibe, and I love both of these lines of dolls. They're really, really fun to collect, and they were something that I never thought I'd be able to have. I discovered them back in 2013 when I feel like a lot of people did, back when those amazing Frozen dolls came out for the first movie, and you know, I was 14 at the time. These were not something that I could get. And I just kind of longed for them for many, many years. And then in 2017, I was able to get my first one. She was actually a gift from my mother. I got Voyager Moana, and I'm gonna fix her hair in between clips, I promise. And after that, I wasn't able to get any for a while, and I'll kind of explain that, but I started seriously collecting them in 2018, and I've had to work multiple jobs for some of these releases in order to be able to get them, and I love them so much, and I'm so grateful to have them in my life, and I cannot believe how big that this collection has grown already, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. So I'm going to start with the designer dolls up front. So without further ado, let's get started. So as I said, the first ones we're going to be looking at are the 12-inch designer series, and these are probably my favorites in terms of the designs, but my favorites to like just interact with are probably the 17-inch ones, but I really, really love that we get to see much more interesting reimagined looks from the designer line, and the 17-inch line tends to be a little bit more accurate to the movies. But they're both really, really cool doll lines, and I know I don't have all the Ultimate Princess Celebration dolls. I'm planning to get them all, it's just that their releases are pretty slow. I can't go to physical Disney stores, and they don't sell out, so I'm not overly worried about it. I have two so far. I absolutely love them, and I'm planning to get all of the rest of them. The next one I'm going to buy is probably going to be Tiana, to be honest, because Tiana is my favorite princess. So the first one is the Ultimate Princess Celebration Ariel doll, and she was released in 2021, and she is so cool. I love how different she looks from my other Ariel doll that you're going to be seeing in just a minute, and this outfit's really, really cool. I know a lot of people really hate that doll, but I think she's fantastic. Like, every single detail that the designer added, like, I get it, and I think she's fantastic, and I'm so happy to have her. The next one here I got on Mercari not too long ago. Well, actually it was like last year, probably last summer, and I got a really, really good deal on her and Pocahontas together. I believe I paid under retail for both of them, and I'm really, really glad that I did. I really wanted both Pocahontas and Rapunzel from this line. Someday I'd like to have the full line, but I'm not overly worried about it. I don't need to have them all, especially because Ultimate Princess Celebration is going to have every character. But at the time, I wasn't sure if a Pocahontas doll was ever going to happen again, so I really, really wanted to get hold of this one. And then I love this Rapunzel because she looks absolutely nothing like Rapunzel, and I love it. She is so ridiculous. She looks so mean, and I don't know, I love her, and her dress is so cool. And I have most of my most wanted from the original 2011 designer line, which I'm really happy about. And it was kind of cool to get them on the 10th anniversary of their release. Also, I know she looks kind of short. It's because I have her on this, like, shorter stand than the others, because their stands are, like, attached to their packaging, and I took them out of their packaging, you know. Anyways, the next one on display is this Mulan, and she is also from the 2011 designer line. I think this is the best from the entire 2011 designer line. She's beautiful. I actually bought her brand new in box and unboxed her myself, and she's so cool. I actually have her on a My Scene stand. Like, they have those saddle stands, and that fits her perfectly, actually. It was really hard to get it under the dress, though. I love her facial expression so much. And I'm really excited to get the Ultimate Princess Celebration Mulan eventually, because I really love that doll, too. But this doll's super cool. She was actually a drunken impulse purchase, and I don't regret it at all, because I probably would not have her if I hadn't done that day, so yeah. Really, really pretty one. I highly recommend her, and all the other 2011 dolls, because most of them are actually pretty cheap, including the D23 one. Like, she's still cheap for some reason. Next we have Giselle, and she was a D23 exclusive from the Masquerade line from 2020. Sorry, yeah, 2020. And 2019. From 2019. The time really meshes together now, doesn't it? I really like her. I got mine. My friend bought her for me. My friend at the time went to D23 and helped me get her and Tiana, and I'm really, really grateful for that. But mine didn't come with her flower crown, And since she was something that was picked up for me, I couldn't really do anything about it, so that kind of sucks for me. But her dress is really, really fantastic. I think her face is kind of weird, so I hope since there's another Enchanted movie coming out soon, they'll kind of like update the classic dolls and we'll get a new face mold. Because I feel like this one's slightly off. She's still a very pretty doll though, and I really love her hair color with the dress. I just think the dress is awesome. Like, it's really, really pretty. Alrighty, next. Oh, and I don't display the princes with them, but they were 2 sets that came with the princes. So there's one, and then Naveen's right here, just in case I forget. Alrighty, moving back. Now we are on the designer premiere Snow White from 2018, and she was my first designer doll ever. And I actually like had just gotten a new job just so I could buy these. I worked fast food for half a year just to buy these dolls. That's how committed I was, and it was a really, really stressful time, but I'm so glad I did it because these dolls are amazing, and I seriously would have been really heartbroken if I hadn't gotten a hold of them. And Snow White is definitely like one of the coolest designer dolls, I think. She's just really, really pretty. And she's my only Snow White designer doll, and I love Snow White's face mold so much. So that's my Snow White doll. I love, love, love her. And next to her is another one of my personal favorites. This is the Ultimate Princess Celebration Jasmine, and she was released as the first Ultimate Princess Celebration doll in 2021. And just to look at her, she's so incredible. I love her in red, and I think she's so cool. She's still my favorite one, even after I've seen all the other ones that I've revealed. I just think she is remarkable. The red and gold and the sunset colors, and this doll's just awesome. Highly recommend her, and I'm pretty sure she's still in stock on Shop Disney, so if you're interested in her, I highly recommend you act now. Next is the original designer line from 2011 Pocahontas doll, and this one's really cool because I feel like we never see Pocahontas in like reimagined outfits, which is why I really, really love the 2021 Pocahontas Ultimate Princess Celebration doll as well, but I just still haven't gotten her yet. This one's so pretty. I really love this face mold and the long eyelashes, and the gown is amazing. I love that she's wearing a brown gown because I feel like you never see stuff like this on fashion dolls, and she's just absolutely stunning. I love her little purse too. Really, really cool one. And again, I bought her with Rapunzel, which was so cool because those were 2 of my most wanted. The best, it would have been better if it was like Tiana and Pocahontas, but like this is almost the best it could have been. And I'm so grateful to have her. She's a really, really pretty doll. Next is the Masquerade series. The Midnight Masquerade Esmeralda doll from 2019. And yeah, she's definitely one of my favorite designers as well. She's super, super pretty. I feel like she's super underrated too. Like, she's still not very expensive. At least last time I checked, probably a year ago, she wasn't very expensive. And she didn't even sell out immediately either, which is so insane to me because this doll is so, so nice. I feel like she did the character so much justice, and the outfit they chose was so cool. Next we have Belle, also from the Midnight Masquerade series. I actually think this doll is really, really nice. People were really heavily criticizing this one because her hair is not really styled. I mean, it's styled in just the typical Belle style, but on the box she has this really cool hairstyle. Apologies to Masquerade Belle, but next we're going to be looking at Premiere Belle, and I got her also with the Premiere dolls that released in 2018, and God, this doll's so much cooler. She even has a transforming dress. These dolls are so much better out of the package because they have details like that, and you can take this off and just have this be like a really short like dress. See, you can only have that piece. It's so cool. And then I prefer it like this, but it's really cool that you get the option to do so, and you also get to see their pretty, pretty shoes. I absolutely love her, and I also think her hairstyle is really fun. And her face, look how different their 2 faces are. That's why, like, I really don't mind having multiples of designer characters in the designer lines, because their faces are pretty different. And then I don't like to display the 2 of the same princess next to each other, by the way. It's just how the rainbow's working out right now. Eventually, I want one character for each, or like one of each character in the rainbow, and then the others would be displayed elsewhere. I would just pick my favorite of each, or the one that fit the rainbow the best. Next, we have Premiere Series Tiana, who was my first Tiana limited edition doll, and like I said earlier, she is my favorite Disney princess, so she was really exciting for me, and I love these shoes. Look how cool those are. And her dress is super cool. I really wish that they had done a second Premiere line because it was seriously so amazing, and I love, 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 love her hairstyle too. amazing doll. I think the color match leaves something to be desired though, like in terms of the bottom and the, or like the skirt and the top, but love her. And I love this jacket so much with the red lining. It's so pretty. And then this is the Midnight Masquerade Tiana, and her princess over here, just because I don't really, so they're over here with my classic dolls. She's so pretty. I definitely prefer her face. I think it looks more like the character. I think it was a new face mold and everything, and her dress is so cool. I think she doesn't fit in very well with the other Midnight Masquerade dolls, like, because she has the only short dress, but she's so pretty. Always going to be one of my favorites. And I love that they chose teal for her dress instead of like just straight up green, because they tend to just put Tiana in green, and I really appreciate when we get to see her in other colors. This Jasmine is one of the only limited edition dolls I'm going to say this for, but I think she is better in the box. All of her different pieces make her really difficult to display, and her stand is awful, so she falls off of it all the time, and this thing's always sliding off, but she's such a pretty design, and her face is so pretty. But there's a lot of things about this doll that make her hard to display too, like her really heavy ponytail actually will weigh her head back a lot too, but regardless, I'm not really like regretting that I unboxed her. It's just kind of a thing I would say. I definitely think that's the better doll to unbox. If you either keep your dolls boxed or maybe like half and half, unbox some and keep some others in the box, but she's so cool and her outfit's super, super cool. I just feel like in the box you got to see most of the details anyway. Yeah. And I really like that she has pants too. I just wish she used a saddle stand because she uses this weird back hugging stand that really doesn't work. Next is my all-time favorite designer doll, Megara. Megara is one of my favorite characters, so I'm a bit biased here. Tiana and Megara and Jane are my favorite like Disney ladies, but it's not just because she's my favorite, it's because her face is perfect. Her face and hair are fantastic. And before this doll had come out, we didn't have any like really dolls that looked like the character. The Mattel dolls were okay and I have them, and the classic doll for Megara wasn't released until after this doll came out because they did the face mold for it, so they were like, we might as well. So gorgeous. Like, look at the makeup and the facial expression, and the outfit is decently enough like her outfit in the movies, so it works. And she has those shoes that I love on Tiana. She has them in gold. Awesome. Sorry, I leave the tissue paper now. It's how they look, like really full. I used to take them out though. Next is Premiere Series Ariel, and it's really hard for me to choose a favorite between my two Ariel dolls, the Ultimate Princess Celebration one and this Premiere doll. I really love how different they are and how different the silhouettes of their outfits are and the colors and everything, and the faces are super, super different too. I think I probably prefer this one's face because I just think that face is so pretty. This doll's super, super cool. The next doll is Midnight Masquerade Cinderella from 2019, and I really, really like this one. She reminds me of like a miniature version of the Saks Fifth Avenue Cinderella doll, who I'll be showing you later because she's a 17-inch doll, and I love the navy blue pieces on this outfit a lot. I do wish she was a bit less like Cinderella. Like, I feel like there's a lot of Cinderella dolls, limited edition dolls, and they're all wearing basically the same thing. I wish they would get a little bit more creative with Cinderella, because I feel like with characters like Ariel and Jasmine and Tiana, they get super creative, but with a lot of the other ones like Belle, they kind of stay in the same color family. They keep very similar silhouettes. This is definitely the most creative Belle doll so far, but you know, they kind of don't experiment as much, and they don't do it a lot with Cinderella either. And I have my theories as to why that is, but it's a bit disappointing. Because as you can see, that even these two Cinderellas that you're seeing in the frame, they have similar embroidery and everything. I do really, really, really love these dolls. And I do think they're different enough to both shine in a collection well. I just think that when you put them next to each other, it's like, oh. And among these two, I think my favorite is actually going to be the Premiere one, and I'll get into her in just a moment. And this doll is just super pretty, and I love her glass slippers as well. Really like her. I was very pleasantly surprised by her. I was actually contemplating skipping that doll, and I'm glad that I didn't. Next is the Midnight Masquerade Rapunzel doll, who there always has to be a least favorite. She is my least favorite of all of my limited edition Disney dolls, and I don't like the original Rapunzel face mold. I think it looks worse with eyelashes, and I don't like the way they did her eyebrows, and I'm very confused by the outfit to this day. I do like her in my collection, and I love, love, love her hair so much, and I especially like having her to display with the others, but I'm excited for the Ultimate Princess Celebration Rapunzel to happen because I really need the updated Rapunzel face mold, and I'll show you what I'm talking about if you're not familiar. They updated the Rapunzel face mold recently, and it's so much better. It looks like the character. It's so much like more expressive and pretty. So I can't wait to see a designer doll with this face because they haven't done it yet. And unfortunately, this doll got snubbed. She is very, very pretty though, and I feel like everybody has very different opinions on dolls, but for what I'm looking for in dolls, she just does not bring it to the table. And I feel like her top and skirt do not match even a little bit, which really turns me off. Even with the face, if it was a super cool outfit, I would be okay with it. Like the original 17-inch Rapunzel, she also has basically the same face, and I don't like it, but her outfit is so cool, so I can give it a pass. Next is the premiere series, Cinderella, and I love that they just totally went off with this one and made her just not even look like Cinderella. So she has this like Marilyn-inspired face. She's so pretty, and I love the pearls, and her outfit is super, super cool. I just desperately wish they'd gone with a different color, even like white, because that would actually be more accurate to the movie too. And I do really like the color that they chose. It's much, you can see that it's quite different. But overall, you know, with Cinderella's, we get, you know, the tight shirt, some kind of shawl piece, the big poofy skirt. It's always going to be some sort of blue. There's going to be a choker. She's different because she has pearls instead of a choker. But, you know, they have a very similar vibe. But this one is superior in my opinion just because she's definitely the most unique one. She's so pretty. And I love that face. That was such a good idea on the designer's part. So we've just finished looking at my designer doll collection. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, and we have more, sorry. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 designer dolls so far, which is horrifying to think about if you know how much these dolls cost and that I've bought them all basically at the retail cost. This is the Villains Masquerade series, and I was really excited that they were going to be continuing Masquerade, but I was really disappointed when I found out it was going to be a villain line. But then I found out that they were going to be doing characters that they'd never done before, like Yzma and Hades, and I had to have them. And honestly, these dolls blew me away. I'm not the biggest, like, villains, like, Disney Villains is its own, like, franchise as opposed to Disney Princesses. I'm not the biggest fan of the Disney Villains franchise, but these blew me away. Every single one of these dolls is amazing. So we have the Evil Queen. Her dress is definitely my favorite one. Hades is my favorite probably of these dolls. I just think he turned out so good, and I don't like male dolls in my collection generally. Like, they just don't really do it for me, but this doll, every detail is so cool, and there's so many nods to the movie, and it's really cool that there's a Megara and a Hades in the same line. I absolutely love him. I think he's phenomenal. And then we have Lady Tremaine. This isn't Lucifer, but, you know, she's got a cat here. I got this Cheshire cat here. Her dress is so cool, too, and you see the Lucifer key here. And this, like, cool cage skirt. Really cool. And the villains get these, like, amazing face sculpts. When some of the princesses look like this, it's, like, look how cool the sculpts for the villains are. There's, clearly the designers love to work with them, and that's what makes these such special dolls. These are so cool. And then here is Ursula, and I love the nods to the movie that she has as well. I know you can't see a whole lot going on with her because a lot of her details in her tentacles, but she's such a cool doll, and I'm so glad they made her, like, actually look like Ursula instead of just making her, like, really skinny, and, like, runway looking, although that doll's cool, too, but I like that she's actually Ursula, because dolls that aren't, you know, super, super skinny can also exist, and I think that she's super cool for that. And then Maleficent's a bit of a mess because her, like, collar thing just does not stay on, and same with her cape. She's kind of confusing, but she's really pretty. She's the least different from any other Maleficent designer doll. Like, I don't know, I feel like if I had another Maleficent, this one would have actually been skippable, and that's saying something because I really like to collect sets. And lastly, the best of the females at least, is Yzma. Oh my god, this doll. Mine has a really bad head, like it's very weighed down unfortunately, so she's perpetually looking upward. But look at her headdress. And there it goes coming off. And the mold of her head is just mind-blowing. She's so cool. I gotta fix her headdress off camera. And her dress is super, super cool too. I do have a review of her on my channel, but I feel like it was probably a mess because my videos were all a disaster. But look at her. And she even has her own body mold. Like, she's super skinny and gaunt looking. And then she has these, like, special hand molds too. Like, that doll is so special. I'm so grateful that these dolls could happen because they're phenomenal. I'm really glad that I decided to collect them after all too. Collecting these was such a chore though because they did the they started this lottery system thing, which thank God they got rid of that because it was awful. So these were such a pain to get, and my mom actually had to get me these too because they charged my bank account 3 times and didn't give me the doll for her, and then for her, I just couldn't get her. I wasn't chosen, and my mom actually went to the store in Houston and got her for me when they randomly appeared in stock, and I'm so grateful. So those, okay, for real this time, that's all of my designer dolls. Now we're gonna move on to the 17-inch
This is the only one of my limited edition Disney dolls that I keep in box, and it's just because I have a superior Moana out of box, and I really like this style of box, so she doesn't really bug me to keep her in box, but this is the, like, classic look Moana limited edition doll, I think from 2016 probably. I got her in 2017 as my friend at the time ended up getting 2 of them from Disney. Like, they only ordered 1, but Disney sent 2, so they sold this one to me for like $60, so that was a really, really cool thing and a really nice acquisition into my doll collection. And I really like this doll, but I just prefer the Voyager one, so that's why she's not out of box. But it's cool because I love these boxes again, so it's really exciting to have one in the box. I do keep all my dolls' boxes, but only 2 of my dolls that came in their boxes came with this style of box, unfortunately, so oh well. All right, now we're gonna move up there and get into them. She's not on display right now, she's in storage, so I had to go get her for this video.
For the next part of this video, we have moved all of the designer dolls down so that you guys will be able to see the limited edition 17-inch dolls up close, and I just thought this was pretty, so I thought I would share. Welcome back. As you know, the designers have moved, and I kind of did a reverse rainbow, but because there were so many blue dolls, I kind of adjusted a little bit so that you could see other colors that weren't like going to be drowned out. So I did white to kind of a yellow to a green to blue to purple to pink and to red. I don't know, it made sense in my head. And as you guys saw, the designer dolls go the other way, so the purple is over here, and then they're an actual true rainbow all the way to red and pink, which is over here. I love the 17-inch doll line. They just are so different to me. I love the feeling of larger dolls in my hand, and these are such high quality. Normally larger dolls, at least like American release larger dolls, will be like weird quality. The clothes will be kind of weird. So these are really, really exciting to me, and my goal with these is to have one of each character. Like, I'm not going to be a completionist with these. Obviously, as they come out, when a cool one that I like comes out, I'll buy them, but in terms of buying ones from the past, I just want one of each character, that's all. And I'm not doing so hot on that goal, but we'll get into it. So let's get started. This was my first ever limited edition Disney doll, and it is the Voyager Moana doll, and she's still one of my top 3, and it's not because of nostalgia or anything for her, it's just that she's really that good. Look how there's like dots of, I don't know, like hot glue or plastic or something on the leaves to make it look like water, and the way the skirt is actually dip dyed, and all of these individual tracks of little feathers on the cape thing, I don't know what it's actually called, and then like the woven fabric inside. Her hair is amazing. There's just so many details on this doll. That actually opens too, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if that was the Playline doll or this one that opens, but she just has so many details. If I had to recommend one limited edition Disney doll to somebody to like start with, it would be this one. And I feel like she's still pretty affordable too, which is good for people who like Moana because she's amazing and both of her dolls seem to still be relatively affordable. Some limited edition Disney dolls really, really jack up in price very quickly, and some just don't. This isn't technically a limited edition Disney doll, but she still like fits in with the lineup, so I'll show her to you anyway. This is the kind of Diamond Castle collection, I think that's what it was called, Aurora doll, and there was a blue one made. I wanted them both when they came out, but they were like Parks exclusive, so I couldn't get a hold of them very easily. And then mysteriously, this one showed up in Austin, Texas at the time where I was living. Somebody who lived like a couple miles away from me had a ton of these for $30 each. I only bought one. I'm really kicking myself because I like the packaging for them, but I got her for $30, and she's so nice. And she was actually one of my first Aurora dolls ever. I'll show you my other one. So I did have this one before her, but like, yeah, she's not doing so hot. And this is after some intense restoration too. Like, she's a mess. So this was actually my first Aurora doll ever. Like, to me, because the other doll's not in good enough condition to like be considered part of my like main collection, although she is on display. Isn't she so cool? And I love the dress. I would have executed it differently, but it's still really cool. Once I cut the ties, when I have more space to display her and like really fan the dress out, it's gonna look super cool. I just don't want to cut them until I have a permanent, semi-permanent, much more permanent than this display for her, so that the pleats stay in as long as possible. I don't know. Her hair is so pretty and her face is so pretty. And Aurora is Brett's favorite princess, so I really like that I had her and that was her favorite. Or sorry, this doll was his favorite for a while. Next is oh, I didn't even say when they came out. I think she came out in 2016, but I got her in 2017. Maybe she did come out early 2017. I don't know. I got her at the Disney store. She was just there and I freaked out. My mom bought her for me as a gift, which I'm so grateful for. Craigslist. I don't remember when. It was probably 2019. This doll came out in 2020, I believe. And this is the Rapunzel for her 10th anniversary. So yeah, 2020. Oh my god, this doll's amazing. She's so cool. This was like one of the most intense hate campaigns for a doll that I had seen so far at that time. Little did I know that it's gotten far worse recently. But my god, her outfit is so cool. I love the gold on it because it reminds of, you know, the flower that she's like powerful because of, and her hair has the flowers in it. Oh my god, it's so cool. This doll's so cool. And she kind of reminds me of the Tangled the Series coronation dress too, which has a similar color scheme. Like, god, this doll is amazing. Definitely one of my all-time favorites. She's in my top 3. Next is Vanessa, who I got in, was it late 2019 for her? I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it was an anniversary. This doll's really cool. I actually wasn't originally going to get her, but my mom really liked this one, so she made me get her. Well, I didn't have the money at the time because, as I told you guys, I was always like working extra jobs to get these, and I was between jobs at that time, so I could only afford one. And I really liked Ariel, so I was gonna get Ariel. And then my mom was like, no, you have to get Vanessa, and she bought her for me. So I'm so grateful because, oh my god, I would have desperately regretted not getting her, and this doll sells for over $1,000 now, so I'm very, very grateful to have her in my collection. And she's so cool. She has one of the highest quality, most interesting dresses on a 17-inch doll, because they got to have a lot more creative liberty with her, I feel like, than a lot of the other princesses in 17-inch form. And this dress is so cool. And there's her shoes. Again, the tissue paper's under here. The shoes are cool, although they've been used before on the 17-inch dolls. But like, look at the sleeves. So cool. This is probably my mom's favorite. I haven't asked her in a while though. Next is Merida, who's actually like one of the most limited ones that I think I have. Like, she was limited pretty low actually, and she's an older one as well. She's probably my oldest, I think. I'm not 100% sure what year she came out. I think 2013. I love this one. These were my grails before I even collected these. I wanted them so bad. She comes in a 2-set, by the way, with her mom, so that's why I'm saying them. I didn't realize how limited the set was or how rare it was, so, but nobody really likes this set. I feel like this is an extremely underrated set. It's either that people don't like it or they just don't care about Brave or they just don't know that it exists, but you'll find it for sale for expensive, but if you see it sell, like actually sell, it tends to be pretty cheap. And I got them out of box for I think $300, which they retailed for like 100 something probably. But because there's 2 dolls and the dolls currently retail for 140, I basically paid what I consider retail for them, which is a big like flex for me, I guess, because I really prefer to buy my dolls retail. Her hair is kind of a mess because I bought her out of box, like I said. And I'm so glad I got her. She was an ordeal too because I was bidding on her and someone beat me last second, and I was so heartbroken about it because it was just that my max bid wasn't as high as it should have been because I kind of got cocky, I guess. And I was so devastated. But then a few days later, they relisted because I guess the buyer didn't pay, so yay. And she has a really interesting face too. I really hope we get more Merida 17-inch dolls someday, but I'm just really glad to have the one that I have. And we are getting a designer doll of Merida. Finally, she has never had a designer doll before. So I'm so glad she's getting one this year. Next is Saks Fifth Avenue Cinderella, who I got for my 20th birthday in 2019, along with a new washer and dryer from my mom. And I am so grateful that she got her for me. The reason we were able to get her is because she actually didn't sell out on Saks Fifth Avenue website. So if you guys don't know about the Saks dolls, there's been 4 or 5 of them now. And because there's Cinderella. Oh, there's this Belle doesn't really count to me though, but there's Cinderella, Snow White, and then 2 Frozen ones. There's 4 of them. And there's like 2 special Frozen ones that still haven't sold. So, but the Roberto Coin ones, but they're slightly different. But anyway, they sell for a lot more. I think they retail for like 500 or something, which is kind of a lot considering they're basically the same quality as the others. They're really, really beautiful though.
And the Snow White one is incredible. I would die to have her in my collection someday. Or a Snow White 17-inch doll, actually. I would really like to have one. But the story behind her is that around my birthday, she just so happened to go on sale for, I think, $200, and my mom got her for me. After that, though, she went on sale for even more. I think she went for $120 at some point. But God, I'm so glad to have her. She is probably my number one favorite. It's hard for me to choose between her and Voyager Moana, but God, she's such high quality. And her dress is amazing. I'm such a ball gown person. And like, look how they even did rhinestones on the choker. Like, they really didn't have to do that. So beautiful. And she's a bit smushed on display here, but like, look how big and amazing the dress is. Fantastic doll. I cannot recommend her enough. I know, well, I'm pretty sure she got like super expensive since then, but I'm so glad, so glad to have her. A theme of my mom getting me dolls that I would have desperately regretted and never been able to get if she hadn't. Next is the Mary Blair Alice in Wonderland doll, who was released in 2021, and no brainer for me, had to have this one. First of all, it's Alice. Second of all, she has this really cute face. I think it might be a shared face mold with Snow White, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And she's just so cool. I love that they used Mary Blair's art on her. Like, look at this. And all the rhinestones, like, this doll's so cool. Absolutely love her. Look at the bread and butterflies. She's amazing. She's definitely one of the like top favorites for me for sure. I think she's really well done. There were a lot of amazing dolls released that year, including the next doll whose little pendant was in the wrong spot, Kita, who was released in late 2021. There were a lot of amazing dolls that year because there were a lot of anniversaries that year. And look at her outfit. Look at her outfit. She's amazing. Oh my God. And I love the way they did her haircut, and of course the new face mold for her because she didn't have a doll prior. Well, I actually have the original one. That's my flex for today. She had a Mattel doll that I actually had as a kid, but that was it. So similar to Megara, and she got to have a 17-inch doll, and I don't know if she's actually sold out even to this day, so you might actually still be able to get her. Highly recommend her. Definitely one of the highest quality Disney limited edition dolls that I have, and you know, I have quite a few of them. She's so cool, and the attention to detail is remarkable, and I promise they're never going to make another Kita doll, so get her while you can. Here is my 17-inch Ariel doll, and she was released in 2019. Yeah, Vanessa and her were released in 2019, and she's so cool. She was my favorite, and she still is between her and Vanessa, but that doesn't mean I don't love Vanessa. It's just that both of these dolls are so cool, and I'm a sucker for a good mermaid, and this is a good mermaid doll. Look at this, the embroidery mixed with the rhinestones, and then there's even wires in here so you can pose the tail however you want. This doll's so good out of box, and then she also has these like sequins on the tail that look so good. And mine is missing the hair accessories because I took them out because I've done underwater photo shoots with her a couple of times, and she's so cool. I love this doll, and her hair's super soft too. I need to restyle it though. As you can see, all the curls have fallen, but I'm not worried about that. I really love her, and it's very liberating to kind of play with these dolls, and this doll is much less like these dolls are a lot more delicate because they have like satin and stuff in their outfits, whereas this doll is not nearly as delicate, so she's like, and as you can see, she survived just fine. I think I've swam with her 3 times and done photo shoots with her, so she stands the test of time. This is a good doll. And I took her hair accessories out because I didn't want them to get lost in any pools or something, so I took them out before I did any of those photo shoots. Well, the first photo shoot they were in. Moving back up, we have Tiana, who released in 2019, and I actually bought her, like, I think it was the day after I took my GRE, which is the grad school entrance exam, and that was a whole ordeal, and it was really stressful for me, so I am really grateful that I was able to get her, and she's so nice. As you guys know, Tiana is my favorite character, and I love this doll, but she has one of my biggest doll pet peeves of all time going on with her, and that is raised eyebrow. I hate raised eyebrow. I hate it so much, especially with dolls like this. Like, just give them a neutral expression. I don't know. That's just my personal beef. Like, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. If she didn't have that eyebrow thing, she would be so much prettier and she would be shot up on my favorites list. If I was confident enough, I would just repaint those eyebrows because I can't stand the cocked eyebrow. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why they did it. She has so much cool jewelry and like all these different embroidered details, and the dress, they kept it simple like it is in the movie, but added details that don't distract.
I love it so much. And the colors are perfect. And I'm so glad that they did a blue dress Tiana because I love that blue dress. I really hope someday we get the Almost There white dress because, God, I love that dress. That's my favorite of her looks. Love, love, love that doll. I really, really, really desperately hope that we get another Tiana 17-inch doll though, because I'm never going to be able to get that Bayou Wedding one. I get it. She's older, she's very expensive, and she's like, I'm telling you, she's like really expensive. Even just finding her for sale is difficult. And I feel like Tiana has so many amazing looks, so I really hope that we can see more of them imagined in this form someday, because she's my favorite, and no matter what, I will have them all, even the green dress one, even if it takes the rest of my life. Next, we have this blue Aurora doll, which is, I believe, my most recent acquisition, and she was my ultimate holy grail. Like, there's a few of these limited edition dolls from back before I started collecting them that I'm desperate for, and those are Elena, it was this blue dress doll, obviously Snow Queen, Elsa, It's Never Gonna Happen, Coronation Anna, like, there's a bunch of them that were, like, absolute stretch goals for me. The Merida set was actually one of them, too. But I never thought I'd have this doll, and she went up for sale on eBay for I think $250, and I considered that a great deal, so I watched the item. And then while I was at work, I was just walking to the break room, and I got an offer. Like, eBay sellers can send you like, hey, you're watching my item, do you want to buy it for cheaper, hee hee. And the offer was like $175, like it was way lower, and I have never hit buy so fast. Like, hey, I bought this now, I pressed buy it now, accept offer, mine. Oh my god, and I do not regret it. Look at her. So her blue dress is my favorite look, which, I have a lot of blue dress dolls, so yeah, I don't know. Blue's not my favorite color, but it's kind of looking rough for me here with my blue dress bias here, but like, oh my god, this doll's so amazing. I'm so glad to have one of these like golden era ones in terms of like the limited edition dolls. Like the 2010s were like, or like the early 2010s were so good for them. They were all amazing. So I'm so grateful to have one of these, and she's so different from my other Aurora too, so I love her so much. And yeah, this is like the ultimate limited edition Aurora doll, so I'm really, really, really grateful to have her. And next we have Miss Esmeralda, and I'm so glad she got a 17-inch doll because, again, she's one of those characters that it was looking quite hopeless for her, so thank goodness. And they did her so much justice. She got a new face mold, her hair is amazing. Her dress is basically the one from the movie, but really, really spiced up with all sorts of beautiful jewelry. And look at this, like, foiling and glittering on the skirt. And it's so full. And the embroidery on the blouse, I don't know what to call that. And then, like, the sleeve foil, ugh! And, like, all the metal jewelry, too. All the jewelry is metal. Amazing doll. I think she even had an anklet. Yeah, she does. And she has articulated feet. Amazing doll. Amazing, amazing doll. I feel like she's probably still affordable, so I really think everybody should get her. And I believe she was also released in 2021. I know she was released in 2021, right? Hang in there, guys. We're reaching the finish line. Now that we've reached a Frozen doll, I would like to do a memoriam. I used to have the other two Frozen 2 limited edition dolls, but I literally never interacted with them. And I really liked the Anna one, but I did not like the Elsa one, and I like to collect dolls in sets, so I sold both of them. So may they rest in peace. We will miss them, but I like these two better, so I'm happy with that decision. And here is my beautiful Queen Anna doll. I think this is one of the dolls that looks better in box, like, in my opinion. I think her dress is kind of lackluster. Her face is so pretty though, and her hairstyle too. Mine's a little bit undone. It's been like that, but like her hairstyle and face are amazing, and she has like amazing metal details, and the top of her dress is great, but the cape is like stupidly short for no reason. In the movie, this thing's really long. Why is it so short? And then the dress is like, let me pull her out so I can give you the full effect. It's so, ugh, what is this? I don't know. It doesn't fit right at all. It's kind of a disaster. I think I'm alone in that opinion though, because I feel like people really like this one, but I don't know, she just kind of flopped for me. But that doesn't change that she's really, really, really a stunning doll. It's just the dress just does not do it. Like, look at this. I don't know, this was like a really important moment in the movie, and the dress is so pretty, and they just did not do it here. And next is Eleanor, Queen Eleanor, from the set with the Merida doll that I have, and she released in, I believe, 2013 as well. And this doll's so good, so good. Look at her face and her hair. Are you kidding me with this hair? Look, I don't even know how you do that sort of thing, but it's amazing. And this is metal too. Well, not this part, but this part's metal. Or I don't know. There's a lot of metal on her. And then her dress is really, really great too. And she's wearing like the basic shoes. A lot of these dolls have basic shoes underneath their dresses, by the way. It's their secret. And the dress is so nice. She's not super detailed, but this is like, it's just so cool that they made a doll of her at all. And they did such a good job. Because Merida, they added all these gems to, which I'm actually not the biggest fan of, because I kind of like how simple this dress actually is, like in the movie, but it's really cool that they added details to her. But with Eleanor, they didn't do that, and I kind of appreciate the decision to keep it simpler, because to me, with a lot of limited edition dolls, this happens where they really go overboard and add way too much, and the doll starts to look like a mess. And I don't have any that I feel look like a mess because they've gone overboard or something, but there are some that I feel that way about, and you know, sometimes less is more, and it can make a really elegant, simple, pretty, expensive looking doll without having like the traditional, like it has to have a bunch of embroidery and a bunch of gems and a bunch of jewelry, you know? You can have like a really, really high quality classic doll like this, and I really love her. Next is the Disney World 50th Anniversary Cinderella doll, and this was a really cool, unexpected release, and she's so neat. I love that, like I was saying earlier, Cinderella always wears the same thing. I really love that she's not wearing the same thing this time. Does have a similar silhouette, but it has this really cool tulle skirt, and you really can't see the effect of it very well unless you're in person. And she has all of these fireworks. Look at this. And look at her face. And she has the same choker as Saks Fifth Avenue Cinderella. Just a fun fact for you. Love the hairstyle. This doll's amazing. And she kind of has, like, her dress gives off a similar vibe to the premiere Snow White, and that doll's amazing too. This doll's great, and I love her, like, bubble wand or whatever that is. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Love her. And then the last doll, because I went from, like, white to, I don't know. Again, my color, my rainbow or whatever is, like, really confusing here, but whatever. The last doll that we're going to be showing is this beautiful Snow Queen Elsa doll, and I know this doll isn't the best, and she leaves some things to be desired, but God, do I love Elsa, and her face is so pretty, and this outfit is my favorite, like, Elsa dress out of all of them, so I really like it, and I think it was done pretty well here, you know? There's some things that are kind of weird, and I wish it laid a little bit differently, but overall, the choices that they made a pretty doll, and that's all you can really ask sometimes, is a pretty doll, you know? And her hair is super cool, too, and just, her face is so much prettier than any other Elsa doll that's ever happened. Look at her. And she has freckles. They always forget the freckles, which is precisely why I sold my other Elsa. And just a fun one there. That is the singing doll from the year Frozen came out, and I actually really love that doll. I wish that I had more of those singing dolls from, like, the early 2010s, like the 2013-ish ones, because they're really, really nice. And you see how well she displays there? I actually have the Rapunzel, and, well, I have two of the Rapunzel. One is nude and one has her clothes, and then I have two of the Elsa nude as well that were sent to me by you guys. Well, I got one at a thrift store and I got one from one of you guys, so I really want her on display, but I need her dress, so hopefully I'll find it someday. But that's it for this video. I would absolutely love to know who your favorite one of these is and why, and if you have any that I don't have, I want to hear who your favorite is as well. And yeah, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing these, because I love watching doll collection videos and doll collection tours so much, and I love making them too, and I love to go back and watch mine from, like, years ago, because it's really cool to see my collection grow, so I can't wait to see it grow even more. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, not counting Aurora, 16, or 15, not counting Aurora, and then I counted her, so I have 15 of these 17-inch dolls if we don't count Aurora. Oh, actually I do have 16. Wait, 1, 2, sorry, not counting Aurora, but I have a doll in box, so I do have 16 of these, which I think is a pretty good sized collection so far, and I'm really excited to continue to add more to my collection. They made so many in 2021, and we haven't had any in 2022 yet, so curious when that's going to start happening. But that's it for this video for real this time. Thanks so much for watching.